Yesterday I asked for questions on Twitter, let's answer them. Are you going to go back to Thailand? I just got back. Okay, I can take a hint. Now, I might not go to Thailand for my next trip. I've had Croatia recommended to me. I've thought about Poland. I don't know. How are you possibly so funny? I would not be including this question if I had gotten more questions, because it's obviously embarrassing and a very high compliment. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, though, because we have this myth that funny people are damaged people, and of course it's not really true, or it's hard to tell how true it is. Like, you know, our culture, it talks to the famous people, but it really only checks the funny famous people for damage when actually all people are damaged. And of course, possibly so funny is the best possible way to put that. I mean, most of my friends are frequently funnier than I've ever been. Anybody who is, you know, walking down an uneven sidewalk might be funnier than I've ever been any second. I do hate that people still say that comedy is all timing. Like, comedy is 15% timing at best. Like, you can get into those feedback loops where anything you do is funny and it's not really about the content. Like, yeah, you can wreck any joke with bad timing, but you can wreck anything with bad timing. You know, orgasms. Don't have one right now, for example. Comedy is mostly about viewpoint, in my experience, and damaged people get viewpoints that are more interesting, perhaps. Will there be more TAMF? Probably, maybe, but there might already be TAMF that you have not heard. We got booted off of iTunes for using the HBO music in the Netflix and Chill episode, so be sure you go to the website, all right? thinkagainmyfriend.show. Can you describe an owlbear for someone who has never seen an owl or a bear? Okay, I want you to look deep inside yourself. Deep inside, and the things you see there, you will see inside of an owlbear. Because if you get near an owlbear, it will devour you. Probably with like a gulping motion, like I'm doing as much walking as ever, but I'm finding that I don't as often. Yeah, this isn't the funny part. I'm not finding that I want to take the camera out as often. I'm just noticing that. I have been hitting up social media less often these days, although it is not like a bag of snacks. It's actually physically impossible to throw it away entirely. I actually had twitter.com just blocked on my phone for a while, and I found that I just still needed to hit URLs on that domain often enough for work purposes that it was too big of a stumbling block. I am really starting to feel like the future is offline entirely. I shouldn't say that. I mean, there's more than one future. But I think there's a future that is offline entirely, and maybe just for people of my generation who had middle-class upbringings that did not prepare us well to manage conflict. In fact, find myself wondering just how many of the comforts and conveniences sold to us after World War II end up being maladaptive as far as keeping the losers of round 2 from winning round 3. But I can't really defend any of that speculation. Truth is, I've been spending most of my life installing software lately. Are there still install parties? Is that a thing? Or did Linux get too easy to install? Did we ever have install parties for anything else? What else can we install? Sense of self-worth. That's just everybody sitting around taking ecstasy. I mean, tell me about that party. But I used to know somebody back in the day who would invite people over to take ecstasy at his house and just hang out and talk all night. And eventually I figured out, oh, that guy is doing that because if he doesn't, he can't ever spend an evening talking to people without anybody ever pointing at him going, hey, I'm sick of your shit. I didn't ever go to those parties because I was afeared. I thought I would say horrible things that I would regret, which may have been true. I got older. It's not all bad. You know, I got kind of better at life. Maybe I will start to be a little bit good at life sometime right before I die. Like and subscribe. March of the English Muffins, March of the English Muffins.